you'll find a whole bunch of people saying, well, I thought about it in my mind, where I drew it on a piece of paper, and then it just came to me, and all that. And, well, I did think about it in my mind, and those people are just copying me. But I did think about it in my mind, and I did draw it. Well, actually, I kind of drew some general stuff when I was a child. But basically, what it all comes down to is the fact that I've been rich forever. He's lying. um, I've been rich for like ever, basically. Probably, I mean, I was existed 100 trillion years ago, and like even as Brian, my existence goes back quite a long ways. And so, I mean, my American money, where is that little bugger? Um, this word right here on this dollar bill, um, America. Anyway, it stands for the fact that I invented flight. I was commemorating flight, America, and then CA for California, because I also invented the word California and wanted to make California my state. So, anyway, and this is all because I had German printing presses and I had money. And by the way, a lot of this stuff is around from the world, like the plastic, the liquid plastic that they used to be made out of wax paper or something like that, but it didn't work out very well. Anyway, though, the liquid plastic I believe comes from China or Japan. One of my great groups out there, I love you very much. Added the special kind of plastic to it, and then because it's actually plastic embossed or whatever paper, because to commemorate plastic making of Japan and also plastic making in Germany as well. Um, but also, and my jets and stuff like that. Also, like a red thread from, I think, France or some country, I forget exactly. This was going to be orange because I think the Aussies or the Irish wanted to commemorate their orangeness or something like that. And I was like, or red or something. I was like, how about just another color green? Because I didn't really like, it kind of clashed with the green. Anyway, though, but I still love you and thank you very much for putting it forward. I know and I remember it. And there's also stuff like a red thread. I think that comes from, anyway, all around the world, basically, a bunch of people came together to make my money, for America or whatever. Because realistically, I'm from Germany and from Russia, my Russian space program, and from Ireland. I helped out, inventing steam stuff in Ireland, as well as, Australia, helping them out as much as I could, getting mining down there and stuff like that. And also, there's lots of stuff I did. Anyway, and then I would pay a person like a whole entire year's salary or whatever to work on one of my gold or silver blocks of metal, a pier block, and they would carve out basically what this is, and then that thing would be printed onto some paper like this. Anyway, and we printed lots of different samples and stuff, but I mean, I like this one the best because, I mean, it's nice, it's simple, it's hard to duplicate, it has the numbers and stuff, and I forget what each of these numbers includes. And the signature of this is the signature, supposed to be the signature of the person who actually did the plate itself. So, because they're supposed to be signed plates, you sign the plate at the bottom, commemorating their contribution to the dollar, or because they drew the design of this money. And sometimes it's several different people. Anyway, though, sometimes like two people would do it or whatever. And there's also lots of other dollar bills and stuff like that. But people would basically be paid a full year's salary to come up with the most complex and good-looking design. And simple. Also black, commemorating the black. My ink as well, to the special kind of ink that doesn't run or fade or smudge. Because I had the best ink in the whole entire world. Because I had like 4 or 5 different research groups all around the world, all working on the better or best type of ink that won't sink in too much and all that. And there are differences between, the ink of a pen and ink of a printer. I've been printing since like 1500 AD or whatever. Been printing stuff, information and stories and stuff like that. And eventually that led into books. For first we did scrolls and we did metal stuff and other kind of things. And I even allowed people, or had people could print on my printing presses and stuff, and I even donated printing press time to other people who wanted to print stories, and also invented the whole like different thingies, blah, 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 for the newspaper. They would be paid to do a story, and because it was my company's, and because like I guaranteed my prices, so if the newspaper said it was a price, then that printing person, would have cost me lots of money just by making one little typo mistake. And I was like, oof, well, I'll cover it somewhat, or at least something, because I can't lose that much money. I could lose a lot, but I can't lose, some of the printing mistakes were pretty severe. And it's like, you can't really do that, and there's limitations and all that. So, and I, because I try to guarantee stuff, I try to be the best, most honorable person in the world. But sometimes people can pay a printer like $50,000. I paid my printing presses, my printing people top dollar, and a lot of money, and because I didn't want mistakes, and because mistakes could cost me a lot of money, and also put people out of work and make people starve. And so. Plus it's a very honorable position to be a printer or a printing press person. So, but my Germans were very honorable people. Anyway, so, and understood that they're working for me, not just some person. So most of my people understand that they're working for a creator or a great man or a great country or someone that is really, cares about them and protects them, which I do. From Germany to Russia to Japan to China, I invented, I helped, I did everything I could, every time there was a storm, until my people knew, my people just know what to do now. They know what I would do. They know what I want to be done. And so they just do it. They know that help should be on the way. And if whatever it costs, just print more money or whatever, go help someone. I don't really care about, I didn't care about the money, I didn't care about the gold, it's like, like what's worth more, man? Anyway, I hate it when people would get cheap on me or, do something dishonest like that, because it's like, I am a great creator, a great man, leader of a country, inventor of a country, and person that is part of a great country, and many times I've been called to go and do and set up and decide things, like this should be done like this, that should be done like that, getting everything so it's all nice and same, and also doing things like insurance, protecting, and finding ways of paying for stuff as well. All the work of a government, all the work of a country, I did that. Like how am I going to pay for this? How do I pay for, how do I get doctors out there? How do I get buildings built? How do I invent things? How do I pay for things? Anyway, and, so, several different times in my life, it's been an issue. But, I invented the steam engines, the tractors, the cranes, everything basically myself, or I paid for it, or I asked for help, like I always tell my people, you can always ask for help. Usually people will help us or help me. They would always help me usually because like I had done so much, steamships coming out of the fog to rescue people or to pull people away from an approaching storm, or something. Sometimes, in a storm, it's, some places are better. There's been a couple of attempts where I've grounded steamships, just been like, well, at least you'll be safe in there. There have been some big, huge, I think there was even once a Category 6 hurricane or something like that, where it's like everyone's going to die. There's nothing that anyone can really do about it. But we're going to try and save you anyway. That kind of thing, where my people have been showing true valor and true ridiculousness. And, stories about it and word of mouth and all that throughout the years. So my people are always the best people and the highest paid with the best equipment. So.